Hello and welcome to the fourth match of my Dominion League season. This is League Season 42. I'm Division C3, third highest division, which has proven to be quite tough. I currently have a record of 4 wins and 14 losses, so hoping to get quite a few more wins on the board here to try to get at least decent showing this season. We've got Kingdom to start with here. Exorcist looks like it's our trashing, and we want to do that because we want to turn our estates into Will-O-Wisps, if nothing else. Draw with Hunting Parties, Stables, Destrier. There's a lot of draw. There's some tower points that potentially you can get from something. There's not a lot of plus buy. Probably you want to get an Herbalist at some point, and some villages. You can use Exorcist on Fortress if you have extra fortresses for imps, although that seems pretty tough to coordinate. With 3-4, I'm thinking about opening probably just Silver Exorcist. You could open Guardian Exorcist and get to a 5 cost, but that doesn't seem worth it. Normally with Destrier, often you try to find a way to gain a whole bunch of Destriers in a single turn. That seems really tough to do here. Maybe with some fortuitous boons from Blessed Villages, or if you get a couple of Herbalists in play. But that seems a bit tough to coordinate. I'll probably ignore Pirate Ship entirely. Probably ignore Guardian. I don't think Watchtower is particularly good here. So probably ignore Watchtower and try to start picking up maybe 1 or 2 Stables. And then a bunch of Hunting Parties. I may just buy all Hunting Parties. So they would bargain for Hunting Party, which I can do myself. I get a second Hunting Party in the shuffle. I think I do want to add some villages to the deck here, because I want to add an Herbalist so I can get multiple buys. So I think I'll start with the Blessed Village and see where I go from there. I'll receive that next turn. That pretty much guarantees... yeah, so I've got 4 here, so I'm gonna need to bargain for my own Hunting Party. Do I want a Hunting Party or a Stables? I think the Stables is gonna be better, the first one. The question is, with the tower points, it makes sense to just get 5 Hunting Parties, and does the Stables help me do that better? Or do they end up getting 6 Hunting Parties to 4? Is the Stables worth that extra 2 VP? And it's not immediately obvious to me if it is or not. I wonder if I can do all the drawing that I need to do in this deck with Stables. Probably not. I'm going to need Destriers and Hunting Parties. Unless I have 5 Stables. I might end up with 5 Stables. I'm going to have 7 coppers in the deck. Hunting Party in general is better than Stables, but here I think the makeup of this kingdom leads me to want Stables. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The boon I got from Blessed Village actually enabled me to buy a 4 costs there. If I hadn't had that boon, I would have had a 2, and just ended up getting a Stables. So we probably do a 5, and I have a horse down at the bottom. So I can get another Stables, I think, and another Will-O-Wisp. I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to have 7 coppers and a silver in this deck always. I'm not really going to ever take time to thin the coppers, probably. Maybe thin 1 or 2, depending on the circumstances. When I actually stop to pick up an Herbalist is kind of important. I may even want to do that like this turn. Play the Will-O-Wisp, and if I don't draw something good, save the horse by an Herbalist, but I am going to be able to kick off here and do something. So 7. So I could buy a horse, I could buy a Destrier. There's some different things I could do. The Destrier feels nice. Another Stables feels nice. And next turn is just Village. would like to find the fortress down there, or the exorcist down there, so I can turn the estate to a wisp. But it's 50-50. I think I'd rather save my horse. The problem with stables is you don't want 10 of them. You're kind of okay with getting 10 hunting parties, but I'm okay with getting a third one here. And then I'll try to pick up an herbalist on this turn. I've still got my horse, which is quite nice. With 5, I assume they're just going to keep getting hunting parties. There's not the biggest reason to get... Alright, I'll stop this shuffle here and just buy the herbalist and gain a blow wisp. There's not the biggest reason to get like 10 stables. I've got decent deck control here already. I've got 3 stables, which draw me effectively 9. I can get through 9 cards minus 3 coppers. And the wisps, 3 wisps to get me through coppers. Herbalists, or a couple other stop cards along the way. But I should be able to fairly reliably draw here and start picking up what I need to pick up. They get in gold. Gold makes some sense. You want to have a little bit more money, obviously. And this looks like a drawn deck. Got 1 copper on the bottom, which seems fine. So I can play the herbalist, and I'm probably going to exercise this horse for an imp. The imp I continue to play all game. The horse is transient. So that seems pretty nice. And I've got 9. So I can decide what I want to do. If I want to go like fortress, hunting party, imp, and then sort of use the imp plus the fortress, the hunting party, and next turn fortress, the imp and stuff. It feels a little bit greedy. If I get a gold here, what would my second buy be? Just like a gold and a silver and an imp. Then I can always exercise a silver. I feel like I'm just not going to draw that well next turn after I do that, but I should be able to hit 5 and add another stables in. Turn that into an imp. Don't top deck a treasure since I have 1 on top. But that is something nice that you can do with herbals, I guess. One problem with the stables deck is if you don't draw treasures near the top, things can go badly. So because I'm going to add imps now, you can do a little bit of analysis about how you want to play your draw cards. I think I want to play all the stables first in general. And then I can imp a wisp very nicely. And I will have... okay, what have I done here? I have triggered a shuffle with 2 coppers in it. What's the third card? 2 coppers and a horse. Okay, that's not too bad. There's a horse in there. I can play the herbalist. I'm not going to get a ghost. I need the gold for the money. 11 money. So I could get gold stables, imp. I will have 12 money in the deck then. Or I could get like gold province or province stables and just start provincing. Province stables. Just start provincing here. Feels a touch early, especially because they had a dud turn last turn. But am I really going to build to double province? So if I'm building a double province, then I would buy Province Destrier or something like that, or Gold Destrier. That lets me hit double Province next turn. I actually have 2 more money in the deck, so I could even add. That's 15 total money in the deck. So if I add Gold Destrier or Gold Stables, I will have 16 money if I can draw a deck. But drawing deck's going to be harder as I add in the provinces, so I could add like 2 more draw cards. Stables, Destrier, and even double Stables. But 5 Stables feels like a bit much. Well, I've got 10 treasures, so it doesn't feel like crazy that too much. And then you can also get some hunting parties, but that helps them lower the hunting party. Helps them lower the hunting party pile. So I'm going to go Stables, Destrier, and keep the copper. And I still have 15 money. I can add 1 more money next turn if I need to. This should give me full reliability, and they don't have more money than I do, so they can't province more. Man, though, I could just start greening and as well. Oops, almost clicked one too many buttons. Stables, Destrier. I have 2 coppers on top, so I don't need to top deck. So if they start greening here, then we will be trading. I kind of doubt they're doing that, seeing this hand. So gold gets them up to double province, potentially. They do a lot of unique cards for a hunting party deck. Sometimes with hunting party, you want to try to have as few unique cards as possible. So, for example, no silvers. I limited that horse there because I'm fairly certain I'm going to have to play it no matter what. I have more wisps than destriers. Although I can't actually dead draw the dead play the imp because I have this village here. Right. So this is my deck. I have 15 money. And I can add 1 province and then start double provincing. I can also add a village. I can also add another plus buy source because I have the actions. I could go plus. I could also exercise the gold for a ghost, but that feels too slow. Feels like by the time I get to use that ghost more than twice, the game will be over. So with 15 money, I'm thinking about just going gold province and start greening here. And I can even kill 1 copper. I'm not sure if that's better than nothing. It probably is. Could also go gold, gold destrier, which is what, 14, and just start adding in draw. It feels better to add the gold, 15 money, so I can kill up to 3 money. So I could trash a silver. This gets me to, I can't actually get to gold then. So you go gold province here. Trash 1 copper. I'd rather trash a silver next turn if I can for an imp. So I'll go gold province here. I can top deck 1 copper, I guess. That seems a little bit greedy. Like assuming I'm going to find stables, but I do have 4 stables in the deck. 3 will-o-wisps. Destrier. I regret now not having added a second herbalist. We'll see if they decide to add a second herbalist here. The deck is definitely reliable enough before I add the greens that I could play the second herbalist, and be able to buy 3 things, and then keep ramping up draw and payload as we start to green. So they're hitting 13. I assume they have an exorcist and a treasure in hand and a gold at the bottom of the deck. So they went Province Destrier. Yeah, that makes sense. Most of my turns from now on, I think I'm probably going to add Province Destrier. Just to keep my draw going. Okay, I can play Imp on Blessed Village, draw with that. Okay. So this is enough for double Province if I want it. Do I want it, is the question. If I double Province now, I'm forcing them to double Province. If I double Province, then they Province, then I Province. They can double Province. I think I just have to go double Province at this point in the game. It really puts them in a tough spot, forcing them to double Province as soon as possible. And I'll pick up another Imp, which should make it likely. I'm not going to top deck a treasure again. That feels like I'm going to find enough treasures on top. So it looks like the tower stuff is not actually going to come into play here. None of these piles look close enough to low that this will happen. Okay, well, I had my own dud here. So what do I have left in the deck? I have 2 Wisps, 2 Imps, 2 Stables, and a Destrier. So I'm pretty likely to draw next turn. I think I'm just going to buy a Duchy, knowing that I'm likely to draw next turn. And, well, I'm threatening to double Province next turn, right, if I have a good draw. So perhaps I just buy a Stables, make sure I draw next turn. And if I draw a deck and double Province, it pretty much puts things out of reach for them. Because they can buy 1 Duchy, like 2 Duchies next turn. But then if I double Province, they're pretty much out of reach. I could also go for a Hunting Party, which will, hopefully find good cards for me. Maybe that makes the most sense. Hunting Party is a good card now for my deck. So what do I do with a double Province here? They're up to 25, so I can just Province Duchy next turn if they double now. I will not top deck because I have quite a few treasures down there. Okay. I'm feeling okay about this one. So, JoMa is currently in 3rd or 4th place, but they're sitting on 50% for the season right now. 6 wins, 6 losses. So they're doing quite a bit better than me. But it's still early in the season for them. They've only played 2 matches. I've played 3 matches. Let me make sure the standings are up to date that I'm looking at. Okay, they've actually played a 3rd match and are still on 50%. So they've been quite consistent. As have I, to be honest. Just consistent in a different direction. Okay, so I don't really see how they possibly win this game without buying a Province here. But their deck also wasn't able to draw particularly well this turn. The Exorcist, the Province, all these are unique cards that they have. Okay, so leaving in the Wisp for the Destrier, I don't know if it matters. I have more wisps, but I know I have a couple of imps down there. So if I play a wisp and find a wisp, I can play that again and save my imp charge for Destrier. But I was able to imp and find the Destrier anyways. I think I have coppers down there. Okay, that worked out nicely. So I can imp now with stables and just play the rest of my cards. Not quite sure. I think we'll discard this silver, which guarantees that the hunting party will find it. Oh, I had another unique card. So, if I've been tracking Deckley correctly, yes, I'm able to buy now 2 provinces and win this game. Top deck. All right, so first one goes to me. Looks like at least the basic case stables actually worked pretty well there compared to Hunting Party, which I thought was the case, but seemed kind of odd to me. So I'm pretty happy to get a win there and move on to game 2.